Hey, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Gruber Wired. My name is Mark Beach.
I'm John Dotson, and welcome once again.
Yes, glad to have you here. We're in a hot Phoenix.
Again, yes, we're always going to say that when throughout the summer.
Yeah,
we're 112 today?
You're going to get sick of hearing it, but, we're sick of living it sometimes.
It just started, too.
Yeah.
So I have all summer to go.
The problem is it's just been the 110s, that's when it's a little unreasonable, I think.
Yeah, 110 and then a little bit of humidity, and it's just like...
The humidity was solid for a little bit there.
Yeah.
I woke up one morning and it was like 68% or something.
Yeah, I just felt like walking into a sauna when you step out your front door.
Yeah, no, that's not... Humidity in Phoenix, no good.
We're not the only ones, though. The rest of the country's heating up as well. So,
yeah.
But if you're out there, stay cool.
Yes, and a week from today is 4th of July, huh?
4th of July, yes. The big celebration. How long has it been? How many years is this?
Well, let's see. We're 2 years shy of 250, so 248.
248.
Yep.
Wow. We come a long ways. Stop and think about it.
I remember the bicentennial. Were you around for that?
No.
Yeah, you were.
No, I'll say no.
Yeah, you were around.
Still find those bicentennial quarters out there, though.
Yeah, those are cool,
Those
right?
are still floating around in circulation.
Yeah. So.
But 248, right?
Yep.
Where we've come from, and where we've gone, and just technology-wise is just.
And so we're going to
crazy.
pre-record a show for next Thursday, so make sure you watch because we'll be here in spirit. And it'll be a new show, but
we
won't
celebrating.
be here.
So
yeah, that's right. So make sure and tune in.
Yeah, we're gonna do a potluck. How about you?
I don't know what I'm
Watch
doing.
some fireworks. Have a potluck.
I am in the middle of waiting for grandchild number 4 to be born.
Number 4. Wow,
and
nice.
there is a distinct possibility that the inducement will happen and the timing will be such that July 4th might be the birthday. So
cool.
We'll see what happens. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Nice.
Yep.
It's fun being a grandparent, isn't it?
It's great. I love it. It's good stuff.
Get to have fun with them and then send them back home to mom and dad.
All right.
So,
boy, that clock is way off up there.
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay. I'm just, squirrel. Yeah.
Might be the power outage on that one.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, yeah, we did have, just let people know, we had a power outage yesterday.
We did. It was sporty around here for a minute.
Yeah. It doesn't happen often, but
No.
it catches us off guard for sure. So if you're probably watching the Gruber, Tesla Hour? Is that what you guys were filming yesterday?
Yesterday was the AI podcast.
AI podcast.
Artificial
and it went
future
down.
is what we call it.
Yeah. So artificially went dark on everyone.
All right. Well, so what's our topic today, John?
We're going to be talking about, V2X technologies.
V2X.
And the reason this comes around is because just as of recent, the state of Arizona, especially Maricopa County, is receiving a $20 million grant from United States Department of Transportation to work on the infrastructure of building this technology.
Right.
They're looking at us as being a potential leader and showing what can take place, what's going to happen with this technology, and where we can go with it.
Right. And, people are probably wondering, what is V2X? Basically, it means vehicle to everything.
Yes.
So there's a list, but I'm sure that list will grow. But it's communication from the vehicle to various things that it will interact with.
Yeah, and to kind of talk about where we've been before, we've talked about the Internet of Things, right?
Right.
So now that's where this kind of comes into play, is that we're kind of looking now at the vehicle Internet of Things,
right?
And where all the technology within the vehicles is going to take and move us forward.
Yeah.
So Highlander, hello. How are you today?
He's happy with Metro Toledo's 70s and with rain.
So 70s with rain in Toledo. Hey, send some of that rain our way, would you please? Just get outside and just blow it our way.
Holy Toledo.
Holy Toledo. Well, glad you're with us, Highlander. We appreciate it. As always. Yeah.
There we go.
So, this technology, though, we're getting this huge grant. They're going to come in. We're going to start with this infrastructure and a little bit about that. If you can go to picture number 1. And we'll show you some identities here and some pictures and just kind of how this technology is working along. This part of it is called V2V.
Right.
And that's vehicle to vehicle. And so what you can see is this technology that is in play here where vehicles actually communicate within a radius of each other.
Right.
And so they can send information back and forth, showing different types of information, how the vehicle's driving, maybe road conditions, just the experiences that are taking place.
Gotcha. Yeah. I mean, it's fascinating to think of the potential for things like that.
Yeah. And one of the things that they're talking about, and I was reading this the other day in online, that they're looking to maybe by 2025 here, within next year or so, having some of these sensors available in vehicles so that if you're traveling and someone in front of you, say, slams on your brakes, your vehicle will automatically brake prior to you being able to react.
Doesn't the Beamer do that already?
It may.
So.
There may be some of that out there already.
I think there's a few that do.
And I think the Mercedes do it. Yeah.
Yeah. So the potential here is just great. And so that's why they're taking a look and seeing what's going to go.
Well, I was just thinking of that bus. I was thinking it could have a little communication thing, at the bus stop that says, this bus is full. You're going to be waiting for a little bit.
Yeah. Sit down for another 10 minutes.
Yeah. Take a powder because this one's full.
So Highlander says, I was wondering what happened yesterday in the podcast. It went blank, like somebody hacked us or something there. So
it went done.
Simple power outage. That was all it was for a moment in time.
Yeah, and we're kind of in a critical area though. Anyway, we're right by an airport, so hopefully, it wasn't out for 45 minutes,
maybe 45 minutes tops.
It's rare. Yeah. It's rare unless we're in like the middle of a monsoon or something, and but it's localized then, and
So picture number 2. What we're going to talk about here is vehicle to infrastructure. This is V2I, and so what you're going to kind of see here is you got the vehicles now that will actually talk and communicate with the infrastructure system set around it, traffic signals, lights. Eventually, it's going to get to the point where it'll also interact with, say, you got the people there. They're showing with the technology they have, whether it's a phone, an iPad,
right?
So we're going to see all of these conglomerate of just this technology communicating with each other,
right? And I believe so. Just talking about that investment again, I believe that a lot of the money, or most of the money, is going to be going into either, equipping vehicles with this technology as a unit, or as a embedded feature, right? So they're boxes that can be moved or hardwired into the car.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think that's where all the money's going to be going, most of it anyway.
Sure. And just develop this infrastructure,
right,
and make sure it's in place and ready for this technology. It's one thing to say we can have this technology. We could probably put it in the vehicles now. But if there's no way for the vehicle to talk to the surrounding infrastructure,
right,
you're just kind of in that gray area.
Well, we've had something that's kind of operated that way, like for emergency vehicles, those little sensors that sit on top of and so when the fire engine or whatever would approach the intersection, and it would flash that sensor that was up there, and it would trigger the light, right? So now this technology, the advanced stage of this technology, is that it will clear the way basically for these vehicles to make their way through. They won't have to get close enough to shine a light. They'll be able to say, hey, I'm going this route, and basically clear the route.
Which is nice, because the other day I was on my way home and got up here right about 19th Avenue, and emergency response vehicles trying to get through the intersection, and it was so clogged with vehicles that it really couldn't. Almost had to go up on a median to get through the intersection itself. So that's areas where you see that technology would open the flow of that, so they could get to the, and respond on time.
Right.
In a decent time. Let's go picture number 3. And this is V2P.
Pedestrians.
Vehicle to pedestrians. So just as it states, pretty good technology here, and this could be life-saving. How many vehicles or pedestrians are struck by vehicles? We hear about it once or twice, probably around the Phoenix area, almost on a daily basis.
It does happen a lot. We're, one of the nation's leaders in that.
Yeah.
But to be fair, though, the reason is that people can be outside 365 days a year here for the most part. We don't have snow days, and it's not all, socked in. That's usually sunny days, 300 plus days of sunshine a year. So
yeah, there's a lot of pedestrians in the city of Phoenix for sure, and the surrounding areas. So this is nice where you have technology. The vehicle recognizes that there's a pedestrian that could be in the way of the vehicle or maybe obstructing in some way or shape or form. And also this technology will also eventually, I'm sure, will be able to communicate with the pedestrian prior to getting there through maybe their phone, send an alert. So there's lots of different progressive ways that things can move forward with this technology.
I'd be in favor of having a little button on the phone that makes it says something over their speaker. Get out of the way.
Yeah. Start talking to them through their radio system in their car.
Yeah. The song "Get Out the Way." Yeah, I won't even go through the rest of it, but yeah.
No, that's funny. Yeah,
that was for you, Harry. If you're here.
Yeah. Highlander says, I like the VAV concept, but how many of all the manufacturers are going to be on board? I really think that is a good question. And I think this will be something, too, that moves forward through the manufacturing world as people accept it. I mean, we were just talking before we came on air about accepting changes that are going to take, and come around within our life and community.
I think like anything else, the government incentivizes things it wants to happen.
Yeah.
So like with the vehicle tax credits, when people were converting their SUVs with liquid natural gas or LNG.
Yeah, LNG.
Yeah, they would, and there was that huge incentive program, so people put like 1 gallon LNGs on their trucks and still got the money, got the rebate money. There's always all that kind of funky stuff going on.
Sure.
But the government incentivizes it. Manufacturers will produce it.
Yeah, it's like anything else.
Right.
When you make it cost effective, right? I mean, let's get down to this. It's all about cost for a lot of these manufacturers out there.
Oh, we got Harry. I called him out,
Look at
and
that.
he appeared.
What do you say there?
Hey, Highlander, go Mud Hens.
Go Mud Hens. Nice. Highlander says, hi, Harry. Mom used to work at the original Tony Pacos, and I go to church across the street from Tony Pacos. Go Mud Hens. I'm not sure who the Mud Hens are. Sorry.
I think it's a baseball team, isn't it?
A baseball team?
Yeah, the Toledo Mud Hens. Didn't Klinger used to talk about them, right?
I think you're right.
Yeah. The Mud Hens.
Now, think
there
about
we
it.
go.
Yeah.
MASH, yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
What does Highlander say there? I think it's very important that you guys keep broadcasting this information. A lot of the public is unaware of this technology. It'll be easier to implement when they're aware. And that's a really good point,
right.
Highlander. One of the big keys about all of this technology we're seeing is the educational process, getting people educated, getting the word out there. And that's going to solve a lot of these issues, honestly, because you educate people, they're going to get thinking about the topics.
Right.
You're going to see these people come out of the cracks that may have some really good ideas and influence, upon this.
Right. And I think as long as the technology doesn't infringe on personal rights and it doesn't snitch on you and create problems for you,
yes,
right?
Yes.
Like doesn't incriminate you, right? I think technology is easily adoptable, but we have to protect our rights too. So I think that all comes together. And as long as data is private and can be used in a public way without any personally identifying information, that people will adopt it
You're
very
going to have
easily.
to have that protected. I mean, let's think about it for a second. There's hackers everywhere.
Right.
We're already understanding how to protect our own personal data now with the devices that we have.
Yep.
It's not going to be a big step forward, I don't think, to protect that as well as this technology progresses.
Right.
But that threat is still out there.
Right. You have to be careful with connectivity because you're right. I mean, you don't want somebody taking control of a car either.
Correct.
You want the information to get out there and you want it to be able to be useful, right? Road conditions, hey, a mile down the road, it's raining.
Exactly.
In Phoenix here, you could be half a mile down the road and it's like a flash flood and then dry as a bone, you get down the street.
I have literally seen the rain band where it is raining in my front yard.
Yeah.
And I go and look out in the backyard and it is dry as a bone.
Yep.
That rain band just hit straight down the center line of the home.
It does do that. Yep. So, this kind of good stuff.
Yeah. So let's see. We're on to number 4. This one is V2N. And this is vehicle to network. And so as vehicles travel around, of course, they got to sync, just like your phone now syncs up to the local towers as you're moving along,
Right.
cell phone towers.
I have one thing for this.
Yeah.
Just so everybody knows, check out the Gruber Morning Show podcast, because Tesla has already implemented all of this technology we've talked about so
Have
far.
they? Yeah.
Every Tesla communicates to the mothership. It has sensors for pedestrians. It does full self-driving using all the sensors and Tesla Vision, all this stuff. The only thing it doesn't do is communicate with like the street lights, I don't think. But
That will come. That will come.
Yeah.
I mean, and definitely that'll be there in the
Right.
future. So let me ask you, Jesse. We're talking about Tesla already having and implementing this. So are they kind of the forerunners of these particular systems?
yeah, they definitely
They're leading the way.
They set
as
the
we go?
stage, and now you have other EV. It seems to be the EV only companies like Rivian, Tesla,
Mm-hmm.
and Lucid are developing these advanced sensors. And some other cars have some pretty advanced sensors too, but not on the level of Tesla or Rivian or Lucid.
Well, and you know what's going to sell it is the safety data. So
Yeah.
I'd be interested to see, you know, what the highway safety data is for the vehicles. You know how they come out with the vehicle safety ratings. It'd be interesting to see what the preemption is, or what the mitigation is of serious injury, serious accidents, things like that. Well, we can all agree to take out the guy who puts his Tesla on autopilot and runs into the back of a semi
Yeah.
as an anomaly. We can
That
take
is
that
an
one out of the
anomaly.
equation.
I mean, think
Yeah.
about it. And another question, Jesse, since you brought this up. So does Tesla, I mean, is this all on private networks for now? Or is this all public networks? So say anybody out there could tap into this particular
is he using the Starlink
system?
satellites?
Yeah, I mean, is it?
Starlink.
I mean,
No,
It could be. I mean, for
So
all we
I
know.
think I'm actually thinking it's over both 4G and 5G right now. They're using those. I don't know which carrier they're using. I would imagine they don't have their own towers, but I don't know
Okay.
that for sure.
This would be curious to know what you know, if they have their own towers and infrastructure in place. You know, and is that the way that things will be designed? Will it be, hey, you got to buy a Ford and you can only connect to Ford towers? I mean, you know. So
Well, the interesting thing too, now that you mentioned Starlink, they just signed their first major ISP. So
Nice.
Cox Communications is now signed to use Starlink to enhance their service. So now, basically, Cox is going to piggyback off of their system where they don't have fiber already laid, or basically,
Gotcha.
yeah.
That's a good move.
that is a great move.
Yeah, very good move for them.
Yeah.
So I wonder if that's going to allow them also to implement. If something goes down, let's say in their standard cabling system, can they easily switch over and keep people connected with the use of that?
Well,
Yeah,
you
I
have
don't
to
see
have
why
those-
the other, like Verizon,
Is
doesn't do it
more
either.
like redundancy systems. Yeah.
Yeah, like if say the internet goes down to the business, can we upload? Can we attach to Starlink?
Yeah. If
Yep.
we lose power.
We also could have had some Tesla megapacks, some of the giant energy storage. Those would
Yeah.
have helped too.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Something, isn't it? Good stuff. So I'm sure this has been implemented. We'll take a look anyway. Picture number 5. This is V2D, which is vehicle to device. So we all do this pretty much already. I mean, our Bluetooth
Yeah.
devices are connected when we get in our vehicle, but this is going to allow for a lot more, possibilities and features as we get new technologies and new devices.
Right. And there's all kinds of cool stuff coming.
Yeah.
I mean, I would imagine, it sounds crazy, but you could have VR goggles on while you're driving and see 360 up, down, out, everywhere. And,
Yeah. But still, I mean, how many distractions? I mean,
well,
think
there would
about
be no
driving with
distractions because
now.
you could have your heads up display. Everything would be there, right?
Yeah.
As long as it was real time. I mean, that's the thing. It's in vehicle, so there'd be no latency. It would just be make sure you keep your stuff charged.
Yeah. Yeah, right? Don't want to go out while you're driving.
Uh-oh. Oh, no.
Well, they already have vehicles with heads-up displays. I mean,
Right.
it's out there so that you can have some extra, information while you're driving.
Right, but I mean, it would eliminate like the road glare, things like that, because you would be able to deal with enhanced picture, higher definition. I mean, when you're driving in the sun, when you're, when it's Stonehenge Day, you know, when the sun is directly east or west and you're going to work, coming to work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's hard to see.
No, I get that. I understand completely, because this was years ago. I was out here on Joe Max heading east in the morning into that morning sun, right?
Yeah.
And here I am heading east. I'm stopped at a traffic light, and a lady behind me didn't see me, hit me going about 65 when I was at a dead stop.
Yeah.
Pushed me through the intersection into the ditch on the other side of the road. Her engine block was up underneath her seat. That hard. How her and her children didn't get hurt, I don't know. But it just so happens to be she's driving into the sun while drinking a cup of coffee and on her phone.
There you go.
You know? So, yeah, this might be able to help in those situations. I see what you're saying. What does Highlander have to say now? Can't remember which one, but Tesla and Elon Musk did a major deal with one of the major telecom.
It must be a lag. It was Cox, right?
Was it Cox? Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, unless he's talking about like Verizon or AT&T or
May have been. I don't know.
Yeah, I haven't heard that. I think it probably is Cox as we're talking
to
about.
use the towers.
Could very well be.
Yep. Very
So,
cool.
Yeah, number 6. We'll throw that.
Thank you. Yeah, I was kind of wondering what time it was.
Oh, there is a
He
bit
just
of a
put the
time
little-
difference, isn't
Yeah,
there?
he just put the clock up there. I appreciate that. I was
We're
like,
showing it
he's
to be
looking up there
4:18.
going, yeah, I see. We'll see what it says, but what is it really? I guess I could go like this. Yeah.
So back again here, we're just talking about the different how they're implementing this using, like you just said, 5G networks.
Right.
And so again, all your devices and your self-driving and so forth, as you can see there, are all right now being used upon those networks that are out there and available. Now, what networks will be coming in the future and how they design that infrastructure, I'm not sure where that's going to go. But it'll
Didn't
be
we
there.
talk about 6G in India?
Yeah,
We did, right?
I mean,
Yeah.
it might just be that's the way we keep going, is just that direction.
Yeah.
And so 6G will be here, but I think it's going to be some time. We're still working on the 5G here, in the States
Right. Right.
to get that coverage. Well, let's see. What's the next one we got here? Number 7. This is called RSUs. And we were talking more about this, a little bit about this earlier. Is roadside units. Some of the infrastructure we currently use and will be using is along roadside. We see this all the time, right? Driving down the road, you see the cameras are out there, you see the sensors are out there. You see these devices already implemented, out along the roadways, and we're just going to continue to see more of that coming up. So
They did a really big thing in Tempe with this. They put like 1,000 cameras in, didn't they, Jesse? Do you remember seeing anything about that? They had like 1,000 cameras. They just opened the center in Tempe. You talk about Big Brother everywhere.
I did not hear about that, but Tempe has definitely changed a lot in the last 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've grown a lot. I mean, just advancements.
And they've grown up too. It's all skyscrapers now, and it's way more people than when I was there at ASU.
Yeah, they have, and ASU is the largest university in the country, right?
It goes back and forth between first and second for, and it's largest by population. So like 70,000 students or something crazy.
There's 150.
Was it?
Yeah.
Maybe I'm thinking only undergrad then.
Enrollment. Undergrad first years are usually about 70, 80,000.
Yeah.
Really? Wow.
And then it whittles through a little bit. I find it interesting when it comes to cell phone technology, the third world seems to be leapfrogging us. India, they don't have to worry about legacy technology. They're starting from the scratch, right? They're starting at the 6G because most of them don't have it. It's like when we rebuilt Japan after World War II, all their factories were modern because everything was gone. So they got all the new stuff.
All the new stuff just kind of implements comes. Here's the other point too. People often say, well, look at Japan. They've already got 8K television going on, 14K television, the whole bit. Well, their landmass is the size of Ohio.
Right.
So they can almost change their whole infrastructure overnight compared to what we can change here in the United States.
Right. Exactly.
So, people got to take into account that we are a very large encompassing country as far as landmass goes.
Right.
And we have people in this country still don't have digital television. So
there's a concept called forklift upgrade,
Yeah.
which just means you rip everything out and put all new in. And for the most part, that's not something that we do here.
No.
We are the guy who gets in the pool by sticking his toe in the water and kind of wades in slowly into everything. That's kind of how we do it. Sometimes we make these quantum leaps, but for the most part.
Hold on now. We basically invented computing. We invented the internet. Right. I mean, we do some stuff here.
Yeah. I'm not, no. What I'm saying is
infrastructure-wise.
Is we don't like take the existing technology and just rip it out and
just replace it,
right,
swap it,
right. Like the cell phone, there's still landlines. You know, there's still Cat 3 out there, right? There's still Cat 5 out there.
I still got Cat 3 running in my house.
Even though now we're getting calls for Cat 8 and fiber and all this, it's still out there, right?
Yeah.
So we're not a people who kind of like all in kind of thing. But India doesn't have any of that. They don't have any legacy stuff to jump from. Or for the most part,
they have a nice starting point.
Right. You know? In other words, they're adding it for the first time in a lot of areas. So that's how they're able to adopt that technology. But once all that's in place, then
they're going to start out where we did. I mean,
when 7G and 8G and 9G comes out, then their adoption rate's going to be slower, just conceptually.
Yeah, those Highlanders say here, I'll leave you this note. Read the nations of North America and you realize just how big our country is. It is very huge, very big, bigger than we can all imagine.
Yeah.
I mean, there's still spots in America and the United States here that, quite frankly, no person has touched.
Yeah.
There's a lot of land mass out there that is just uninterrupted
pristine.
Still.
Yeah. And to understand how big Alaska is alone.
Yeah.
I mean, we see it on the map there, and it's just, it's like we have no concept of how huge that is.
So, yeah, it's just one of those things. Go ahead and pull up picture number 8. And so these are just onboard units. It just kind of shows you where you can, different types of sensors right now. This happens to be just one of those test vehicles, but just where they're testing these sensors, where they can put different radars and readings and things like that.
Right.
So, yeah, we're seeing, like I said, they're working on this. They're going to get there.
Right. The saying is form follows function. So you build the functionality first, then you make it look good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. That's what my parents did with me. Right?
Thought we were going to go with the whole broadcast without me.
You
wanted to bang my head on
your
that.
head.
Yeah.
I got to get you there somewhere.
Harry, if you have anything to say about this, please jump in. But I owned an XP laptop for good reason. A lot of factories. Yep, XP. So when Windows XP came out, and it was on the why am I drawing a blank right now? It wasn't. It was on the platform.
I don't know. I'm trying to think. You're
well,
asking the wrong
DOS
person there.
and then NTFS.
NTS. Okay.
It was on NTFS, and so I agree. I was early adopter of XP when that came out as well because of NTFS. It was you could have bigger sectors. You could have bigger file sizes.
Yeah.
You didn't have the limitations that DOS had.
But look where we're at now. It's crazy.
Yeah.
All this technology, it's amazing how fast it's growing, where we're going with it, and it's just gonna just take off even further and faster. I mean, Jesse's been telling us all along, just hold on because it's coming.
With
just
the
at the
AI
beginning.
stuff,
I mean,
yeah.
It's just a matter of moments now versus days versus years. I mean, a moment in time is all we're talking about, and this is just going to be hitting us in the face.
I'm telling you, AI has helped me out clear some intellectual fog. Sometimes when my brain is like not thinking, and it can't come up with it.
What do you mean sometimes?
You want to go there, Johnny? You type in a prompt and then it kind of gets the direction going.
Yeah.
What are you doing, man? It's like a suicide mission or something. I don't know. You want to wake the giant or what? I don't know.
We'll wake you up.
Okay, all right.
So, but Mark, now imagine like you're experiencing AI takes out the roadblocks and it speeds you up.
Yep.
And your productivity. Imagine that on a global scale. Every person doing work everywhere in every industry has the potential now to increase their productivity 5, 10, 20 times.
Yeah, I agree. It depends on what they're working with to begin with, right? If they've got,
Yep.
Yeah, it's coming. It's going to be there. And
Right.
it's a matter of, from here on out, is how do we get educated on this as it comes out so fast and is rolled out? How is the educational system going to adapt this? How are we going to implement it?
Right.
And that's going to be one of the key factors that they're going to continue to work on, I'm sure, is how do we get this delivered in a nice package, educate people and understand how to use the functionality of AI and, just be able to use it in general.
Right. I know Harry and I have been educating ChatGPT on a few political issues, so we're helping it refine its answers.
If you haven't played around with ChatGPT, do it, because it is just... It'll make you laugh.
Yeah.
Honestly, you want a good laugh, just sit in there, start asking us some questions and have a
give
conversation.
Me 10 bad
with it.
dad jokes. It'll give them to you.
It'll show you a picture of Mark.
Oh man, he's really gonna go there, huh? Okay, all right, man.
Shots fired.
Yeah,
Shots
we got an
fired.
hour and a half of this next week. We got to do 3 shows.
Yeah, we're gonna pre-record 3 shows coming up for you folks here. So
I would tune into the next one for sure, folks, because John is gonna have some fun. All right,
like, share, subscribe. We appreciate
please.
Everyone out there.
Yep, we're at 209,000, so we're getting there, right?
Yeah, it's coming along.
It's all organic right now, so we appreciate every single one of you that's joining. For now, every Thursday, 3 o'clock.
3 p.m.
Whether it's 4th of July or not, we won't be here, but the show will. So
we'll make sure you're covered.
Please join us. For now, I'm Mark Beach.
I'm John Dotson, and thank you once again.
Thank you. Have a great one.